Welcome to Pod Apostle. Help us build the kingdom of God. Like, subscribe, and share. So if you haven't figured it out yet, today is the feast day of St. Luke, evangelist, apostle and evangelist. He's one of the guys up on the symbolized up on our ceiling, the four evangelists down the middle there. And, St. Luke, if you would ask me who wrote the longest gospel a year or two ago, what my answer would have been Matthew, okay? And so I had this wrong for a long time. But actually, Luke is the longest gospel. It's less chapters, but it's more verses, more words. So Luke wrote the longest gospel, and he wrote the Acts of the Apostles. And it's really like the gospel is volume 1 and Acts is volume 2, and this incredibly rich source of our New Testament. Luke was a faithful companion to St. Paul. Did you pick that up in the first reading from St. Paul's letter to Timothy? And poor Demas. Did you hear what he said about Demas? Demas, enamored of this present world, deserted me. And then he goes through the other people, the people that, he's not happy with in some respects. But then he gets down to Luke, and Luke is the only one with me. And so Luke was this faithful traveling companion and an assistant to St. Paul. And so we believe that Luke was a physician and that he was also a Gentile, although there's some debate about whether he was a Gentile or not. But that's kind of historically, traditionally, that he was a Gentile. He was converted to the faith, and he learned the Old Testament from St. Paul, which would be a good teacher to learn the Old Testament from. And the Gospel of Luke is so rich and beautiful in so many ways. And one of the things that is highlighted, in all of the Gospels, is how the Old Testament is a preparation for the Gospel. And how Luke and Matthew, Mark, and John as well, bring this truth to us. So, what I want to highlight about Luke is Luke might have started a little bit behind in his knowledge of the Old Testament, but boy, he caught up, And so it's never too late, really. It's never too late to really get to know our faith. And the other thing I want to highlight about Luke is his loyalty. His loyalty to Paul, which comes through over and over again as they're traveling companions together. Much of the Acts of the Apostles is taken as a personal account. Some of it's taken as Luke is writing stories that he has been told, but some of it is where he's there, he's on the ground, and so today we remember the loyalty of Luke, we remember the learning of Luke, and we should be inspired to strive to be continuously learning our faith and growing in our knowledge of how the Old Testament is a preparation for the new, and Christ fulfills the old in the new, clearly shared with us by St. Luke.